Cowboys opening press conference is over. Training camp, I should say. Give me your one-word reaction to the State of the Union press conference. One of my coworkers here at Chat Sports just messaged me, sell the team. That's 3 words, but sell works as one. Let me know in the comment section of today's video. I don't know how long we're going to go today. It could be a long one, so bear in mind with me there. Number 1, Jerry Jones was rambling a lot. He loves ambiguity. He made a lot of comments about ambiguity, which in fitting form for the word, I don't know what that actually means. What are we talking about here? Ambiguity. It was more of the same analogies Jerry's used in the past. We got the leaves falling BS. We got the option quarterback stuff where at one point he was kind of comparing himself to Patrick Mahomes, which I thought was really weird. In general, I'll preface this. There was nothing the Cowboys could have done today short of saying, hey, this guy's getting paid, this guy's getting paid, done deal, we have announced it. They bring him up there as a surprise. Nothing sure that would have appealed to us. And you could tell Jones boys were on the defensive. They had some lines in mind, not all of which were actually accurate, though. I think maybe the most actually informative thing beyond us just being mad about their lies was the claim. We'll make that singular S, by the way. No, on the second Lamb when you change it for me, Chris. Doing things on the fly, it happens. It's okay. Is that Lamb wants more? So just go ahead and push that big cam. Lamb wants more than Justin Jefferson. That was what Steven alluded to. You got 2 guys, Micah and Lamb, who want to be the highest paid non-QB in the NFL. Now, that might be true. Flies in the report of some of the other faces of maybe what happened was Lamb asked for that and he's willing to settle for less. That is certainly plausible as well. But it's also very hard for me to believe the Cowboys when this report comes out. I'll believe some of the other agents, other reporters that are out there. When the Cowboys also lied about other things in today's press conference that we will get into as part of this. It wouldn't shock me if Lamb is asking for more than Justin Jefferson. Doesn't mean he's going to get it. Doesn't mean he wouldn't accept it. We know Micah straight up said that he's going to try to get more than Jefferson, and that's fine. Everyone's on board that comes next year. But I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe Stephen Jones when he says this, because they lie to us all the time. So do you trust the Cowboys right now? It is today's pinned comment, so take advantage of a potential ad break if it comes here on YouTube. Y for yes, N for no. There's also more all in and cap crap, which maybe I'll call it cap crap instead of the pie line because it sounds kind of funny as well. Several things I want to make note of here. I am bothered, and Jerry didn't mean, I think he did use the word insensitive about the fans. He didn't mean that. He meant acknowledging that we are sensitive about the lack of wins. That's fine. Every time the Cowboys use the phrase all in, a little bit of me dies on the inside. It's honestly just dickish at this point, to use a very poor term. Why do you keep doing this? You're not all in. You cannot use a term and try to so distort the definition that it means something completely different. You have not spent a dime relative to the rest of the NFL. You are the cheapest cash spending team in the NFL this year. You might sit up there and say everyone gets the same salary cap space and we spend it to our max, which they did again today. You do not spend the same cash. That is not an opinion. It is not a matter of viewpoint or point of view. It is a fact. The Cowboys do not spend the same amount of money. And if they're going to sit up there and cry about their cap space, a great way. Jerry made a big deal of saying, it's the world smiles violin. No one feels bad for us, as he complained 7 times of having to pay all these players. It kind of doesn't work for me. You want to pay Lamb? Get it done. We'll talk, Jerry sat up there and said that there's a scenario in which, hey, Dak and Mike and Lamb take up 70 to 80% of the payroll. Straight up a lie. And nobody called them on that. It is not true. There's no way to even remotely get to that figure. It doesn't exist. It's not close to 70 to 80% of it. It is a flat-out lie. And my boy Mike White, not to be tried, posted 5 minutes before Jerry said it. They act like we don't have the internet and we can't do basic math. Jerry also said, you're going to have to help me with my math, and then said I'm good at math in a 10-minute span, by the way. Stephen Jones said, the Vikings paid Jefferson, but they didn't pay anybody else. They signed Christian Darrisaw to like $26 million a year 2 days ago or a day ago. Just did he not know? Like, this is why I have my doubts. Like, in a normal world, maybe Lamb does win more than Jefferson. But they also lied about other shit. So why would I believe them? Come on. The Cowboys got most excited today about their damn ticket sales. They made a very good point of like, hey, guys, ticket sales, fastest renewal ever, better than anybody else in the NFL. Nobody wants our tickets more. That is what they care about. They showed their colors again. They were hyped about that. They were very excited. Like, oh, look at all the people that want to buy our season tickets and go to our games. That's what they care about at the core. Long as the money's coming in, long as the sales are coming in, it's fine. It's fine. They're okay with it. But the bottom line was there. And that continues to be a sticking point and a problem point for me. Now, speaking of ticket sales, you don't have to go to a Cowboys game, by the way. You can go to a concert, a comedy show, theater, a baseball game instead. But whenever you're buying tickets to whatever your next event is, make sure you guys are using Game Time. They've got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets or whatever tickets to a game you're trying to go to. Always keep an eye out for the zone deals. With the zone deal, you pick the section, Game Time picks the seats. You get savings along the way because who cares what seats you're in if you're sitting in the section you actually want to be seated in. So download the Game Time app today over at gametime.co. Create your account and use code CHATSPORTS, 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 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But again, create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, lowest price, all guaranteed. Now, in a very Jerry-heavy press conference, because of course it was, he says he doesn't think this is Dak's last year. Part of me wonders if all the comments and conversation made about how, Jerry doesn't always get what he wants, which was true when he was young and certainly has not been the case since he made all of his money. He has like a $200 million yacht. Like, he can get whatever he wants. Part of me wonders if that's like trying to lay the groundwork of, I wanted Dak, but we couldn't get it done type of deal. Because they don't actually have any control over him, Or, we caved on the deal, whatever. Technically they're already out there practice, by the way. At least I believe that's the case at this time. Well, I guess whenever you guys watch something, man, they'll definitely be out there if not already done with practice. Going out there with no contract. I forget who it was. Someone had tweeted out, got the head coach and the quarterback in the last year of their contracts. It was Diana Rossini. When was the last time that happened? The answer, this organization 5 years ago in 2019. They're doing it again. Jerry was asked comments like, hey, you made that mistake. You're going to fix it this time. And he's like, well, no, I'm going to try to do it this way. Like, I could do that all the time. You're just fine making the same mistakes all over again? Like, you complain about your cap and you're not moving the needle to get deals done. You could have overpaid Lamb and it had been a steal. You messed up the Dak contract the first time so badly, you're still paying for it now. It's frustrating. So, prediction time, because I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. It's going to come all the way down to the wire, and it comes down to, what does Dak want to do in the end? Will Dak Prescott be the Cowboys QB in 2025? Y for yes, N for no. Some injury news that we'll get to here in a moment, or I guess now technically. As expected, Trevon Diggs is opening up training camp on the PUP list per multiple different reports. Sounds like this will end up being a shorter stint for Diggs on the PUP list there. He tore his ACL in practice for week 3 of last season. Expectations going to be ready way before week 1 this season. And I'm fine with the Cowboys taking a more cautious approach. I don't have any complaints about that because you need him out there. You cannot win a playoff game or win a Super Bowl or win the division in July, even in August. You can lose it, though. Now, you don't want to set yourself up for complete terribly slow starts, but you do want to set yourself up for success. And I think a slower approach is fine. The big thing I have for Diggs, what does return to play look like? And what does return to performance look like? Those are very different things. We've seen that several times now over the years. Michael Gallup, unfortunately, never returned to performance. Terrence Steele had some wildly impressive return to play last year, not wildly impressive return to performance. So how does that all factor in the end? Diggs a damn good corner. He, DeRon Bland, Jordan Lewis, that's a good trio if they're all healthy. So be patient with Diggs. See, and maybe in a short window, you can spin it as a positive. You get Eric Scott more reps, get Sean Wright more reps, get Kalen Carson reps, get a feel for how good those guys could end up being. That's fine in July. That's fine in early August. It's not fine in October, you know? So what is your confidence level in Trevon Diggs? Not to play, but to performance. Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comments section. Some positive notes here in what has been a very negative show off the bat, but, you know, it was the press conference. Of course it was. Mazi Smith managed to avoid starting camp on the PUP list after his offseason surgery. Good news there. Luke Schoonmaker, also not on the PUP list, so positive there as he faces kind of a big training camp for him, kind of low-key under the radar. I will say that the Cowboys are going to probably limit those guys a little bit. They will do stuff, but they probably won't be 100% full go. And I'm sure we'll have photos when this comes out of just how in shape Mazi Smith actually looks. Now, unfortunately, as the month winds down, we are losing the month-long NFC East sub-battle. Help us take that claim back. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. We're way behind the fence. They're a small channel. It's fine. We can catch the Giants. I have faith in us. Hit that sub button right now. Also good news on DeMarvion Overshown. He has been fully cleared for camp after his preseason ACL tear that he suffered back in 2023. Good news on all that. Having those guys out there, I think, is a very big deal. It is troubling that we're having this conversation about your top 3 picks last year who did not really make much of an impact. So of those 3 players, of the 3 players we're talking about here today, who are you most excited about for the 2024 season? MS for Mazi Smith, LS for Luke Schoonmaker, DO for DeMarvion Overshown. Also to not be on the PUP/NFI list, David Durden, Peyton Hendershot, John Stevens, Osa Odigizua as well. All 3 of those guys, or 4 of those guys, should be good to go. I actually didn't see if Hendershot was specifically mentioned by, I think, Nick Harris at the full list. But he wasn't on the reported list, and the Cowboys announced Diggs already. They didn't announce anybody else. So I think everyone should be good to go.